Yes, we will wait for a few minutes. So if anyone join, then I will share my screen. Yes, so I'm sharing the screen. Just a minute. Yes. Good morning, all. Today we are going to start with the our module number 4, which is about the information technology in business, telecommunication and network. So in this particular module or unit, we are going to discuss about the evolution of the telecommunication network, the fundamentals of telecommunication and network, basics of the telecommunication and network. Then we are going to discuss about the network types, topologies, then voice communication, data communication. So those all what we can say that the video, how the video conferencing and collaboration tools can be useful in businesses. Then mobile communication, wireless technologies, the different networking infrastructure in the business where there are different hardware components, network protocol, network security measures, and cloud computing visualization. Then different telecommunication and network management system, how to do the network planning, design, network monitoring, performance optimization, troubleshooting, problem resolution, as well as the legal considerations for the and future trends that we are going to discuss in the today's lecture. So, what is the telecommunication? Telecommunication means it is a term for transmitting the information over various distances using the electronics, usually with the signals, messages, or data being exchanged between two or more people. So, this is about the data exchange. So, these exchanges are done without the cables, without cables, but with the radio frequencies, with the optical fibers, or even satellites. There is a wide assortment of the technology, and there are the services. Just a minute. There is a same slide. Slide is not changed. Yeah. So telecommunication, it is about the transmitting information over various distances using electronics, usually with the signals, messages, or data being exchanged between the two or more people. Then what is network? So network, we can say it is a group of interconnected systems or devices that communicate and exchange the information. Then we can see that when it is a network, so networks are sometimes it is a restricted, sometimes it is a large scale. So depending on the geography they span. Further, we can say that a system could be grouped according to the topologies, according to the protocols. Ultimately, the telecommunication and networks are central to the modern economy, which allows firms to communicate with the prospects, partners, suppliers, employees, uh, that employees or suppliers or any people across the world in a real time. So we can say that there are the number of procedures in the interconnected economy which provides the framework for professional and business to trade the knowledge. Okay. So then we will discuss about the importance of the telecommunication and network in businesses. So first is the facilitating communication, then enhancing the collaboration, then supporting business operation, then enabling the remote work, expanding market reach, supporting innovation, digital transformation, improving customer experiences. So those are the importance of the telecommunication and networking businesses. So we are going to discuss one by one. The first is the facilitating communication. So the telecommunication networks helps companies to interact internally between their employees and the external people like the clients, the suppliers, and other different stakeholders. So voice calling, emailing, conferencing, instant messaging, using this, it can be a smooth ways for the communication. So businesses can use the same for the decision making, crediting, collaborations. So, enhanced collaboration is also one of the what we can say that the key feature of this particular telecommunication network. So, how it is enhancing the collaboration. Network will allow teams to work together regardless of geographically separated offices. So, with these particular tools like cloud-based document sharing or project management solution, virtual meeting providers, employees will work on shared projects in a real time, which will accelerate the processes of the job and contribution based group outcome generation. Then it supports the business operation. Additionally, we can say that the telecommunication network support the business operation from ensuring the stocks and transactional procedures to conducting the marketing research and running customer service. Thus, we can say that well-being of the networks keep the business functioning smoothly. As well as the next is key feature or importance of the telecommunication network is the enabling the remote work. So when we are talking about the remote work, we all know that nowadays work from home is everywhere. There, it is what we can say that the facility which we are getting. So because of the telecommunication technology, only the remotely the employees can work. So it allows accessing the needed company related resources and colleagues' attentions from any location where the internet is present, and giving them a chance to offer the workers more lifestyle supporting job opportunities while sustaining or increasing their effectiveness. Then the next is the expanding market reach. So this particular telecommunication network offers the businesses the possibility to find the larger market. So e-commerce, social media, online advertising, everywhere, this particular telecommunication and network provides the opportunity to access the global customer base and to sell products to the new customer. Then the supporting innovation and digital transformation. Telecommunication networks can help companies to innovate the way business is conducted. It is high performance driving force that helps to implement the IoT, automation, analytical solution that take contribution to the maximum and uncertainty the smallest they can be. So that is it supports the innovation and digital transformation. Then there is the improved customer experience. So we can say that because of the telecommunication network, businesses provides a seamless and personalized experience to their customers, because there are the various channels like websites, mobile apps, the customer service portals. Because of the channels, the customer will be satisfied one. So access to the real-time information and efficient communication channel enhance this particular customer satisfaction as well as loyalty. So now we are going to discuss about the evolution of the telecommunication network. So telecommunication has actually the long history, but people had communicate over longer distance. First, it was done with the help of the smoke signals, drums, and visual signaling. However, the first major alteration to the means of methods and telecommunication began in the 19th century when there is a electric telegraph. Telegraph was invented in 1831, and later the phone was introduced by Alexander Graham Bell in 1876. Right. Then on after that there is on 20th 20th century first there is a what we can say that 20th century, there is electrical telegraphy, that is the first practical telegraph system, which is generated by the Samuel Morse, which enables the long what we can say that the long distance based communication message transmission using the electrical signals and Morse code. These telegraph lines span the continents also. Then there is a telephone. The Alexander Graham Bell introduced this telephone in 1876, which is the real-time voice communication. In telegraph, there is only the text communication, like message communication, but in telephone, it is actual the voice communication. Then there is a radio communication. Radio communication systems were invented in the early 20th century. The wireless method for the communication utilize radio waves to broadcast the information over the minutes, periods to receive the thousands of miles away. Television is also in development in the 20th century. So television was first advertised commercially globally in mid 20th century. These television networks emerged as a new way to transmit the audiovisual material to millions of homes around the world at the time. Then there are some key milestones. So digital revolution, then internet and World Wide Web, that is everyone we are using. Then mobile communication, fiber optic communication, those are some milestones or technological advancement. Digital revolution. So in the second half of the 20th century, the digital revolution was characterized by the evolution from analog to digital communication system. So this particular digital system will allows the improvement in signal quality as well as the capacity and the possibility of incorporating the data, voice, video transmission. The next is the internet and World Wide Web. So the development of internet and after that there is a World Wide Web is the actually most significant occurrence in the history of the telecommunication. So origins of the internet is with the ARPANET, which is the research project maintained by the US Department of Defense, starting from in late 1960s. The Tim Berners-Lee invention of the World Wide Web in 1989, which allows user to share and access the information. Then there is a mobile communication. So in the beginning of the 1980s, it witnessed the first generation mobile communication technologies origin and age. The first generation of analog cellular networks was replaced by the digital ones in the following decades, with subsequent innovations developing into the faster future rich networks. So mobile communication, without mobile nowadays we could not survive. Then there is a fiber optic communication. So fiber optic allows the establishment of long distance communication channel. So data is transmitted through the fiber optic network in the form of light pulses through very thin glass or plastic fibers. The advantages of this fiber optic include high bandwidth, low latency, susceptibility to electromagnetic interference, suitable for high speed internet and telecommunication backbone. Next is the impact on business operation. So lots of the impacts, this particular telecommunication impacted on lots of the things. The first one is the globalization, then there is the enhanced communication and collaboration, then there is a e-commerce and digital business model, then there is a remote work and telecommuting, and then there is a data-driven decision making. So globalization, the telecommunication network, we can say that have the globalization by connecting businesses to suppliers, partners, customers across the whole world, across the globe. So that's why the modern businesses has access to the market, resources, talent beyond its geographical location. So almost without exception, businesses across various industries access the markets, resources, talent pools beyond their traditional limit. So that's why globalization impacted. Then enhanced communication and collaboration. As we know that because of the phone, because of the video conferences, because of the emails, messengers, and other all communication tools, we can collaborate, we can communicate easily with any other people who is there at another remote place. So So we can say that the role of this particular telecommunication network in the modern world has significantly changed the way business communicate and collaborate. So real-time technologies like email, messengers, video conferences, corporation cooperation programs, among other people, rentless communication with the partners and subordinates across numerous projects simultaneously. Then the next is the e-commerce and digital business model. So when we are talking about the e-commerce, e-commerce has become an industry of its kind, since telecommunication network will increase the customers' access to businesses and their products and services. Then there's remote work telecommunicating. So already we have discussed this on account of the telecommunication network. Employees have been able to work remotely from they can work from their home. They can take on the telecommuting job that permit them to log in from anywhere in the world with the internet access. So, because of that, it redefines the work-life balance. It will save the time, money for commuting from one place to another place, and it allows firms to acquire information about a much greater number of potential applicants. Then data-driven decision making. So, data because of this particular telecommunication network, it enables the collection, transfer, analysis of massive quantities of the data using telecommunication networks. Firms may take the data-driven assessment on the basis of current data, because of this particular telecommunication network. So, which powers the vast data analytics firms, Internet of Things, sensor technology, and artificial intelligence system. Then now we are going to discuss about the fundamentals of telecommunication and network. So in this, we are going to discuss about basic principles, the basic components, the concepts that required for transmission of the data and communication across various devices and systems. So when we are talking about the basics of telecommunication system, there should be some media to transmit the data. So that is called as a transmission media. So we can say that the transmission media are the physical devices or physical means through which the signals flow from sender to receiver in a telecommunication system. So there are the different types of the transmission media like wire, twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, fiber optic cable, wireless media. So in twisted pair cable, it is you can check that the middle one. So this middle one is the twisted pair. So it is made up of the two insulated copper wires that are twisted, regularly employed for the telephone lines and LANs. So it is used for the telephone lines, and the middle one, which is used for the telephone lines and LANs. Then a coaxial cable. Coaxial cable, which is this first one. So a coaxial cable, it is a composed of central conductor, insulation, a metallic shield, and a external insulation layer. And it is employed for the CATV and high-speed internet connection. Then there is at the end there is one image, that is a optic cable. So fiber optic cable is made up of thin glass or plastic fibers that carry the data in the form of light pulses. Its qualities include wide bandwidth, low latency, minimal exposure to the electromagnetic interference, and when utilized for the long distance communication. Then signal modulation techniques. So signal modulation means the encoding the information. So we need to convert the information from one form to another form. So that is encoding the information on a carrier signal using a transmitter for transmission on the communication channel, that is called as a signal modulation techniques. So there are several modulation methods like amplitude modulation, frequency modulation, phase modulation. Then the these three, choice of which particular signal modulation we need to use, that it is depends on the bandwidth, noise immunity, and signal fidelity, among the others. So what is amplitude modification? You can check this first one, that is amplitude modification. So a modulation, so it modulates the amplitude of the carrier signal to encode the information. Then here it is a frequency modulation. So frequency modulation, it modulates the frequency of the carrier signal to encode the information. And this is the phase modulation. Phase modulation modulates the phase of the carrier signal to encode the information. So these modulation techniques are selected based on the factors such as bandwidth requirement, noise immunity, signal fidelity, etc. So this is about the signal modulation technique. Then multiplexing. So multiplexing means what? Multiplexing means combining the multiple signals on the single transmission medium is called as a multiplexing. So there are several methods of this multiplexing which is given here in this particular slide. That is a time division multiplexing, frequency division multiplexing, wavelength division multiplexing. So we are going to discuss the same. So time division multiplexing. So these methods allocate the discrete slots of the time to each signal for the transmission. Then there is a frequency division multiplexing. This particular frequency division multiplexing allocates the separate frequency band to each signal to the transmission. Then there is a wavelength division multiplexing where this wavelength division multiplexing uses the different wavelengths. As the name itself indicates that there are the different wavelengths of the light in a fiber optic cables to simultaneously carry the multiple signals. Multiplexing makes it possible to transmit the multiple signals concurrently over a shared medium and increase the capacity efficiency of the telecommunication network. Then the next point is the network types and topology. So there are the different types of the networks like LAN, WAN, MAN. LAN is the local area network, WAN is the wide area network, MAN is the metropolitan area network. So what is LAN? So LAN is a network that span a small space, for example, a room in a building or entire building, or where the high-speed Ethernet or Wi-Fi interconnects devices to facilitate the communication and sharing of the resources. Then next is the wide area network. Wide area network WAN, which is comprised of two or more LANs separated by a long geographic or covering a large area with long distance communication technologies like lease lines among the other connections. Then there is a metropolitan area network. MAN is the network that covers a larger geographical area than the LAN, but it is smaller than MAN. So that is comprising a city or metropolitan area. So this MAN connects businesses, organization, and government agencies among others at a high speed. So here in this particular diagram, you can check that there are the different lands. They are used for some particular building or they are used for some particular room. Then there is a man which is used for the metropolitan area, that means for the city. And then there is a van. Van means we can say that that is longer, larger geographical area than the that particular city or than the land. So across the globe, one can communicate through this particular van. So the next we are going to discuss already. Now we have discussed the network types. Now we will discuss the client server versus peer-to-peer network. So client server network, we can say that it is, as the name itself indicates, that there is one client where there is one server. Client will request for the services to the server and server will serve for that request. So this particular client server network architecture is a type of network where client devices, for example, computers, smartphones, request the resources or services from a centralized server. And server plays the role of hosting, managing data, application services, while clients will interact with these resources over the network. So these client server networks are commonly used in enterprises and for the various internet based solutions. So this first diagram shows that these are the clients. This is the server. Over the internet, client will communicate with the server. Client will request for the services to the server, and server will send the responses through the internet to the client. So like that, it is a client server network. Then there is a peer-to-peer network. So when it is a peer-to-peer network, we can say it is also one of the type of network architecture where individual devices or peers communicate and exchange resources with each other without the central server. In other words, we can say that peers performs the role of the client and server. It will may survey the resources such as file, printer, or processing units to other peers. In peer-to-peer networks are typically used for file sharing, collaboration, develop centralized application, and so on. Now we are going to discuss about the topologies. So just a minute. So, topology means what? In a which way the particular computers are connected to each other. That design method, design way is called as a topology. So, here are different types of the topology. First one is the star topology, then ring topology, then mesh topology, bus topology, point-to-point topology, tree topology, and so on. We will discuss one by one. So, there is a star topology. First one is the star topology. If you will check this middle diagram, the first row, the middle diagram, then it is a star topology. There is one central hub or switch. And for in this to this central hub, multiple computers are connected, but everyone is computed to the central hub only. So that is called as a star topology. So we can say that the all devices in a star topology are connected to the central hub or switch. The central hub allows devices to share resources and communication through it. It is used in a LAN since it can send and receive and isolate the devices easily. Then the next is the ring topology. So ring topology where all devices are connected in the closed ring. Here you can check this first row, first diagram. So here in the ring topology, all the devices are connected in a closed ring, such as that all devices had two direct neighbors each. So data moves in the ring in the form of a token. So it is here from here it will send here and so on. So it will send as a token. Okay. So data moves it so we can say that it is it is the fairest to all the devices since all devices get the data turn by turn. Still each data packet passes each device before reaching the destination. Then there is one mesh topology. So mesh topology here it is like a mesh. So every device is connected to the every other network devices. So it allows more than two unique ways of accessing the devices. Mesh topology has a full mesh that enables the each device to connect to every other irrespective of their number. Then there is a burst topology. So all devices in burst topology are connected to the common communication channel. So the third one, last one in the first row diagram. So that is burst topology. There is a what is the common communication channel. It is the easiest to install as well as it is very economical. Also, there are some point to point. Then there is a tree-like structure is also there. So these are some types of the topologies of the network. Then the telecommunication and technologies in the business. So we can say that the telecommunication technologies play a crucial role for facilitating the communication and data exchange within the businesses. So here we can say that there are some key technologies we will discuss here. The first one is the voice communication. So the traditional telephone system that is the which is the circuit switched technology, which is used in the traditional telephone systems, commonly referred as a public switch telephone network, that is a PSTN. And as a result, voice communication is initiated and maintained between callers using the physical copper cables and analog signal transmission. Traditional telephone system include the following features like plain old telephone services, that is the POTS, the simplest, which is simplest type of the phone service that enables phone users to make and receive the calls using landline phones. Then there is the analog and digital telephony, which supports the submission of voice, including the digital system, which typically offer improved voice quality and added functionality such as caller ID and call forwarding. Private branch exchange system that is often utilized in a businesses to manage calling within a business and include the voicemail, call routing, and extension dialing and conferencing among other features. Then there is a voice over internet protocol. So in voice over internet protocol, that is a VoIP. So it is a technology that allows voice communication over the internet or IP based network. So rather than using circuit switch network, which is used in traditional telephone system, here voice over internet protocol converts the voice signals to digital data packets, and it sends them over the internet or network. So there are lots of the characteristics of this particular voice over internet protocol, like cost efficiency. So though this particular voice over internet protocol is more cost effective than the traditional telephone service providers, its services usually cost much less for the long distance and international calls. Flexibility and scalability. So voice over internet protocol systems are highly flexible and scalable. So your voice over internet protocol phone can move with you. Then advanced features are there, different, like call forwarding, call recording, voicemail to email, integration with other business application that can be also possible. Then there is a unified communication which provides the integration between voice over internet protocol calling system and other business communication application. Then there is a data communication. For data communication, again, there are, we can say that there is internet connectivity, there is a email, there is a instant messaging, then there is a unified, what we can say that the communication for the data. So internet connectivity. So every business needs to be connected to the internet for conducting any online activities, to get access to the online resources, to maintain the relationship with the customers and other partners outside one's physical office. So there are different types of the internet connectivities, which includes the broadband, lease line, virtual private network. So what is broadband? Broadband is a some of the known internet access technology which can form part of the business internet connectivity. So business oriented broadband technologies like DSL, cables, fiber optics, wireless broadband provision enables the businesses to connect to the internet with speed of the gigabits per second. Then there is a lease line. In addition to broadband, businesses may can use the lease line, which is very faster than the broadband. So the lease line is a private bidirectional dedicated fixed bandwidth data connection link used for the organization use the internet. Since lease lines have commercial bandwidth and are guaranteed reliable, are used for the business oriented internet connectivity. The virtual private networks, the businesses use these particular virtual private networks for remote and private secured access. These virtual LANs, VPNs, provides a secure private networks that can be used for remote access and linking the different branch offices. Then there is a email and instant messaging. So they are widely, we can say that used for widely used communication tools for business correspondence, collaboration, and information sharing. So email allows user to send and receive the messages containing text, attachment, multimedia content. Businesses uses this particular email for internal communication, external correspondence with customers and partners, and marketing campaign. So this particular instant messaging platforms enables real-time text-based communication between users, facilitates the quick discussion, file sharing, group chats. Businesses utilize the instant messaging for team collaboration, customer support, and informal communication among the employees. Then there is a unified communication. Unified communication integrates various communication tools and technologies into the single platform, which enables the seamless communication and collaboration across the different channels. So there are lots of the different key components like voice and video conferencing. Then there is a presence and availability, collaboration tools, integration with the business application. So voice and video conferencing. So this unified communication platforms offers the voice and video conferencing capabilities for remote meetings, presentations, virtual collaboration and sessions. Then presence and availability. So this unified communication system allows provide the presence indicators that shows the availability and status of the users. It allows colleagues to see if someone is available for the communication. Then there is a collaboration tools. So this unified communication platform has the collaboration tool like document sharing, screen sharing, whiteboarding, project management features to facilitate the teamwork and productivity. So there is an integration with the business is also possible with the same. So video conferencing and collaboration tools. So in this particular video conferencing and collaboration tools, it enables the real-time audio video visual communication and collaboration between remote participants. There are the different key features of this particular video conferencing and collaboration tools like video conferencing, screen sharing, recording and playback integration with the collaboration tool. So video conferencing platform allows the participant to conduct virtual meetings, presentations, the discussion using the webcams, microphones, and screen sharing. Screen sharing means it allows participant to share their screen with others, like I have shared on my screen to you, and it enables the collaborative document editing, software demonstration, and presentation. Recording. So now our session is recorded. We are recording the session. So this particular recording is also possible, as well as playback option is also there using this video conferencing and collaboration tool, and integration with other different collaboration tools like for example messaging app, document sharing platform, then project management software to facilitate the seamless communication and collaboration. Then the next is the mobile communication and wireless technology. So mobile communication and wireless technology, it enables the businesses to stay connected and productive while the go. So there are different key features like cellular networks, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, NFC, that is uh, near field communication cards are also there. So cellular networks means it provides the wireless communication services to mobile devices, for example, smartphones, tablets. Businesses will use the cellular networks for voice call, text messaging, and mobile internet access. Wi-Fi network allow devices to connect to the internet wirelessly within a specific area, such as offices, campus, public hotspot. Wi-Fi enables mobility, flexibility in accessing online resources and communication services. So Bluetooth is a short-range wireless technology that lets you connect devices such as smartphones, tablets, laptops, peripheral devices, wireless headsets, speakers, keyboards, different things. Okay, then there is a near field communication. NFC is the near field technology which is used to communicate and exchange the data among different devices through the close proximity. It is essentially a mobile payment method which allows for access control and data transfer between the smartphone and NFC devices. So we can say that the telecommunication technology is the essential component of the business. So that fosters communication, collaboration, productivity through the voice communication, through the all the tools, through the voice communication, data communication, video conferencing, mobile communication. The company can increase the operational efficiency. There is a secure customer relationship, the satisfied customer. Then it adapts to the current communication trends and demands. Okay, so next is the networking infrastructure. So here we will take the break, and after that we will discuss about the networking infrastructure in our businesses. Welcome back. So now we are going to discuss about the hardware components, which is the part of the networking infrastructure in the businesses. So when we are saying about the network, when we are talking about the networking infrastructure, we can say that it forms the backbone for any modern business operations, which will enable the connectivity, communication, data exchange among the different employees, devices, resources, systems. So there are these hardware components. So we can say that the key concept in this particular networking infrastructure. So in hardware components, there are the routers, there are the switches, there is the access point, then there is the servers, there is a data centers. So routers means what? Routers, we can say that those are the networking devices which facilitate the forwarding of the data packets between the computer networks. So routers act as a gateways between different networks like LAN, WAN, in between LAN and WAN, or in between LAN, WAN, internet. So routers rely on routing tables and algorithms which will help define the suitable path inbound data will take while transmitting. Switches. So switches are networking devices that link dissimilar devices within a LAN. They made communication between the devices feasible by forwarding the data cards based on the MAC device source of the card. Accessing the destination port was made possible by the use of the source with the assistance of a switching table, and hence it allowed to efficient access of the data cards quickly, elevating the congestion in the local network. So access point, these are the devices that make wireless device connect to the wired network, which allows Wi-Fi connectivity between place over a specific area where wireless devices such as laptops, smartphones, tablets access the resources on the internet. So then there is a servers and data centers. So we all know that server is a computer or hardware devices which is designed to distribute the or serves for the request. It distribute the services, resources, or data to other computer or devices on the network. Servers will execute the different types of the services as well as the application. For example, the file storing, emails, website, databases, collaboration tools. There are the various types of servers like file server, there is a web server, then there is a database server, email server. Then data center, when talking about data center, they are the physical facilities which is used to house servers. So networking devices and storage systems to meet the business computing and networking needs. Those data centers are the critical infrastructure which enables the storage, processing, and managing the amounts of the data volume of the and the applications. So this is designed to support the high availability, scalability, and security of the resources. Then there are the another aspect of this particular networking infrastructure is the network protocol. So there are the TCP/IP, HTTP, FTP, SMTP, the SSL, TLS, IP security, those are some network protocols. So we will discuss one by one. The first one is the TCP/IP. As the name itself indicates that transmission control protocol and internet protocol. So it is used for the transmission. So it is used for sending the data across the internet and computer network. So it uses the main two protocol, that is a TCP, which provides the reliable and connection oriented transmission. There's another one that is UDP, user datagram protocol, which is not the connection oriented, which is the connection less, but trans TCP is opposite to that UDP. And the IP means IP version, which provides a routing and addressing function. Hypertext transfer protocol, it is a protocol which is used to send the web pages and other data over the internet. So it outlines how web clients request a page or resources, and how this particular web server will respond to the request, and it sends the requested information. Then there is a file transfer protocol. So file transfer protocol, it is a protocol that is used to transfer files between two computers over the network. It allows users to download the files from the remote computer to their local PC or send files to the remote server. Then another protocol is SMTP, that is a simple mail transfer protocol. In the name itself, there is a mail. That means it is this protocol is used for sending and receiving the mail for it's an email messages, we can say. And it outlines the procedure of how email messages sent and received by the email server or email client. Then there are some security protocols like SSL, TLS, IPsec. So SSL, TLS is the secure socket layer, transport layer security. So SSL and TLS are the cryptographic protocols which are used to secure the communication over the computer network. So they protect the client server communication by encrypting and allowing the servers to authenticate their identities while preventing the man in the middle attack. So TLS, that is a transport layer security, is the newer version where most of the communication on the internet today will running on that particular TLS. So SSL TLS, we can say it is mostly utilized to secure the exchange protocols such as HTTPS, SMTPS, and different others. Then there is another one that is a IPsec, that is a IP security, Internet Protocol Security. So it is a group of IP protocols which secures the IP communication, internet communication by encrypting and authenticating the IP packets. IPsec mainly targets the encrypted VPN transmitting data passed between IP addresses securely. A secure VPN ensures the privacy and public protection while set up between any two networking devices such as router and remote endpoint. So most communication utilize the IPsec to make private, otherwise the public information. Then there is a network security measures. So for the network security, there are the lots of the other things are also provided like firewalls, intrusion detection system, there is a encryption, there is a authentication. So that we are going to discuss now. So firewalls are, we can say that are the network secure, firewalls are the, just a minute. Firewalls are used for the network security, so it supervise and control the networking traffic entering and existing network that premised on the defined security rules. So these firewalls, it functions like a filter between the trusted interior network and untrusted exterior network. So in between this interior and exterior network, there is a boundary, and that boundary or that wall is called as a firewall. So it will scan, block the external traffic from entering into the internal network. So it will potentially it will eliminate the potentially dangerous traffic to the from the external network. Then there is an intrusion detection system. So in intrusion detection system, we can say that these are the security devices that screen network traffic flows, search for sign of the any illicit activities or any data breach activities or any malicious activity. So this intrusion detection system analyzes the network packets and log files to determine the intruder action, the malicious action, or safety infringement. So this intrusion detection system can be standalone devices or incorporated into the other networking security devices. So both the things are possible as a standalone devices, or it can incorporate in the network security. Then the next is the encryption and authentication. So encryption, that means process of converting the data into one form to another form, that's the encoding the data. Therefore, it will preventing the access to the unauthorized person. So the encoding based on the particular cryptographic algorithm is aimed at transforming the plain text into the ciphertext, and which can be plain text means our original message. Original message will be converted into the another form, another format, another code. It is a coded thing. Okay, so plain text will be converted into the coded text, that is called as a ciphertext. So that is done. The plain text to ciphertext conversion is done through some keys, and that keys are known to only to the sender and receiver. So when it will receive at a receiver side, receiver will decrypt the same using the right key. So we can say that encryption is used for protecting all sensitive information like password, the financial transaction details, and other confidential data transmitted via networks. Then the authentication. Authentication is the process of ensuring or validating that users or any other devices trying to access the system or network are who they have claimed to be. It ensures that only authorized users or device access restricted network resources. Example of authentications tools are the password, digital certificates, biometric certificates, multipath factor input. So the multi-factor, what we can say that the authentication is also there. So those are the example of the authentication. Then cloud computing and virtualization. We have already discussed the same in the previous unit, previous module, module number 3. Still, we are going to discuss here. The cloud computing, we know that it's a model for offering services and resources by using the internet. So there is a pay as you go basis. So whatever the we are using for that only we are paying, and there's no need to take the entire infrastructure directly. We can take whatever we want as a services. So it delivers, the cloud will delivers on demand access to the computing resources, for example server, storage, databases, applications, the networking equipments without the need of on premises infrastructure. So because of these, businesses uses this particular cloud computing to adjust as needed resources, to decrease the IT expenditure and to accelerate the innovation. Then there is a virtualization. We can say that it is a technique to create the virtual instances of the computing resources, like the servers, storage, networks, the uh, then abstract physical hardware to improve the resource utilization. So it allows several virtual machines or virtual networks to run on a single physical server or infrastructure in hardware. So we can say that this is all actually about the network infrastructure. So we can say that the business network infrastructure is an integral part of the any organization, and it is required to support the operation of the firm, which allows the effective communication, collaboration, sharing of the data, and to access to the required resources. So with the extensive use of the hardware, network protocols, security mechanism, continuous advancement in cloud computing and virtualization technologies, organization can create reliable, robust network infrastructure for expanding their operation opportunity. So this is all about the networking infrastructure in the business. Now we are going to discuss about the telecommunication and network management. So for telecommunication and network management, it involves lots of the phases like planning, design, implementation, then monitoring, then optimization of the telecommunication system. Then there is a network infrastructure to ensure the reliable and efficient operation. So the first is the network planning and design. So when we are talking about the network planning, we need to first check the capacity. So we need to do the capacity planning, then we need to check for the scalability and redundancy. So what is capacity planning? We can say that capacity planning is the assessment of the current and future requirement to determine whether the existing network infrastructure is capable of processing the expected workload and user requirements. So this will involve calculating the required resources, for example, the bandwidth, storage, processing powers, and other factors to fulfill the performance objectives and plan for the future. So this planning should consider the network traffic patterns, application usage, data volume, user activities, and business growth plans. It enhances the likelihood of avoiding network congestion, bottlenecks, performance, stumbling performance, provisioning more resources, and optimizing the network architecture. The network modeling, performance testing, traffic forecasting, and scalability analysis are among the various capacity planning methods. So, capacity planning helps to ensure that the companies have sufficient capacity to use their solutions and users have access to consistent and reliable user experience. Then there is a scalability. So scalability is, we can say that it is a capability of the network infrastructure to scale the resources according to the workload demand. So it ensures that the network infrastructure can grow with the businesses and the business needs and the number of users, applications, devices without impacting the performance and the reliability. Redundancy means we can say that it is a duplication of the data. It is about the backup which is required for the fault tolerance. So redundancy we required because of the high availability and for the fault tolerance. So scalability and redundancy issues are not limited to the network paths, but also there are some different power supply, different what we can say that the power supply options, hardware additions, and even the replication of the data into the another location. So some of the scalability and redundancy considerations are redundant network path, load balancing, then failover clustering, then geographic diversity, disaster recovery, networks resiliency, including the ability to reroute the traffic. So depends on the both the way the relevant devices are interconnected and fully developed the network paths. The end goal would be minimize single point of failure on the system and ensures the business continuity. Then the next is the network monitoring and performance optimization. So in that there are the two things we need to check. That is one is the traffic analysis and another is the bandwidth management. So traffic analysis that means we need to track and analyze the network traffic patterns, their behavior, the performance. So it includes the identifying the bottlenecks, the congestion points, and other issues. So those issues may affect to the network traffic flow. So that's why we need to check for that also. The administrator can also gain some insights into the network's utilization, bandwidth consumption, application performance, and the user behavior. So network monitoring tools gather the traffic data from the network elements such as firewalls, switches, routers, which are then analyzed and using the packet sniffing, flow analysis, deep packet inspection techniques such as such tools can also provide the visibility into your network's behavior, which allows you to set up alerts and reports based on the predefined threshold, which helps you to detect the faults, troubleshoot the errors and failures efficiently. So we can say that the goal of the traffic analysis is to facilitate the proactive network management, capacity planning, optimization. For example, by identifying the traffic behavior and trends, you can optimize the resources to prioritize mission critical applications and improve the quality and reliability of your network. Then there is a bandwidth management. So bandwidth management means it refers to the administration of the capacity and consumption of the network. So there are the different mechanisms which are based on the strategy which focuses on guaranteeing the optimal performance for essential application and services. So it avoids the congestion, declines the quality of service pertinent to the non-critical traffic. So bandwidth management alternatives will include the quality of services, traffic shaping, throttling, policy prioritization. The quality of service components prioritize some classes of the traffic over others based on the predefined criteria like type of application, the source, the recipient of the product, service level agreement. These bandwidth management solutions enables the administrator to govern the network traffic by dynamically assigning the capacity, adhering to the traffic policy, and ensures the mission critical application benefits. So everything will be secured then. Then the next is about the troubleshooting and problem resolution. So for troubleshooting and problem resolution, we are using the diagnostic tools as well as the incident response procedures. So when we are talking about the diagnostics tool, there are the lots of the networking diagnostic tools which are used to detect, diagnose, resolve the issues, mistakes, errors, or any network problems. So they will provide the details about the network wellness, the configuration of the mistakes, the connectivity issues, the criminal risk. It enables the IT experts to identify and resolve them rapidly. So there are the network analyzer. So those network analyzer, we can say that those are the application layer traffic analyzers that will capture the network traffic and it will swap The same for the customer software. Packet sniffer. These programs captures the subnet traffic and it will generate the copies of the packages they see to track unencrypted network communication. Ping. So there is a thing which looks at whether a particular host is up or not. So we are doing the ping to one particular device. So whether it is running or not, that we need to check. Then there is a trace route which examines the how IP packets are transmitted in the private sector PC system. Then there's a SNMP monitoring methods where the track devices which will create the total time. Then there is a performance monitoring stage which will check for the device condition as well as the measurement. So those are all diagnostic tools which gives the insights into the how the network operates when paired with the network traffic information. So by checking all the details about the network's action, there is an intelligent diagnostic data system which offers the possibilities to identify the different useful prospects, to recognize the anomalies, to separate the network condition problem. Then there is a next is incident response procedure. So in this particular incident response procedure, it describes the steps and processes of how to respond to the network incidents, how to respond to the security breaches, how to respond to the service interruption. So they will explain the roles, steps, escalation of that particular problem, the communication, the remediation strategies that the team should take to ensure that incidents have minimum impact and allow for the normal operation to resume. Most of the response procedure uses the systematic approach such as NIST incident response life cycle. So this NIST incident response life cycle includes the preparation, detection, analysis, containment, eradication, recovery, lesson learned phases. Additionally, the procedure involves the coordination between the response team as well as the other stakeholders, such as the network administrator. Then there is a staff, there is a business unit. So effective response procedures helps to ensure the minimum interruption during the service disruption by reducing the data loss, by minimizing the financial and image damages. So that is the use of this particular incident, the effective incident response procedure. So the next is the telecommunication regulation and legal consideration. So we can say that this particular telephonic system or telecommunication system need to encompass a wide range of the laws, regulations, standards that governs the use, management, and security of the telecommunication system as well as the network. So there are some compliance requirements for this particular telecommunications sector. There is a GDPR and there is a HIPAA. GDPR, that is a General Data Protection Regulation, and HIPAA, that is a Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. So here in GDPR, the first, it is enacted by the European Union. The General Data Protection Regulation is the regulation aimed at strengthening the data privacy and giving control to the individuals in the Europe and European Economic Area over the personal data. So it requires the strict compliances for any organization that collects, process, or store the personal data for residents of the Europe or European Economic Area, regardless of their location or anything. So we can say that the telecommunication companies must obtain this particular explicit consent for the data processing. They need to enforce the data protection measures. They need to notify the individuals in case of there is any data breach happen. They need to ensure the lawful data transfer outside the Europe or Europe country. The compliances involves the developing the data protection policies and conducting the privacy impact assessment, which appoints a data protection officer. And it ensures the data subject rights in access, rectification, erasure, and data portability. Then the next is the HIPAA. So HIPAA, we can say that it is a federal law, that's the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act. So HIPAA is a federal law in the US that sets the privacy and security rules concerning the individual's medical information and electronic medical records. It is anything that is or was added electronically. This law applies to the any healthcare records, healthcare providers, community health plans, clearinghouses, or other enterprises that manages the health information under the any regulation, also known as PHI or electronic PHI. So telecommunication companies which will provide the services to healthcare providers or transmit the PHI must follow the rules under HIPAA. Data must be protected from any unauthorized access. Data transmission must be confidential and the data should be encrypted. And it includes the physical administrative safeguard as well as the technical organizational measures. Its compliance requirement include the risk analysis, mitigation, and safeguard implementation. So everything will be under this particular HIPAA. So those are the compliance requirement. Then there are some telecommunication laws and regulation. So the first law we can say that is a Telecommunication Act of 1996, which is at a United States. So US federal law, that is the Telecommunication Act 1996, was enacted to promote the competition and deregulation of the telecommunication industry. It mainly focuses on the number of elements on the telecommunication sectors, includes the local services, shops, long distance services. There is a job training, telemarketing, then there is a media content, broadband. So the Telecommunication Act of this particular 1996, which addressed the regulation for the telecommunication agencies, which promotes the universal services and covers the problems, for example, interconnection, access control, spectrum utilization. It created the Federal Communication Commission as the regulator of the sector in US. Then there is another one, that is a Telecommunication Interception and Access Act 1979 in the Australia. So this in this law, it governs the interception and access to the telecommunication by the law enforcement and other government agencies in the Australia. The act is supposed to enforce the legal requirements for intercepting the telecommunication, and which includes the obtaining a warrant and enhancement of the privacy guarantees to most people's communication. The Telecommunication Act 1979 is also requires all service providers to cooperate with law enforcement and intelligence agency by allowing them to access the intercepted communication and stored data whenever the necessary. So the next is the intellectual property and copyright issues. So these particular telecommunication technologies and products are often protected by the intellectual property rights, which includes the patent, trademark, copyrights, trade secrets. So this IPR will provide the legal protection for the invention, design, software code, the brand identities which is used in a telecommunication products or services. So it has the potential for various technologies to be patented. Telecommunication companies must ensure that their products and services operate within the confinements of the existing intellectual property laws while also respecting the intellectual property rights of others. So this will necessitate the conducting, purchasing, a patent search, licensing the necessary technology for a patent holder or offsetting the patent infringement when required. And the next is the copyright issue. So copyright issue protects the original works of authorship, includes software code, documentation, audio, video, material, artistic creation from unauthorized duplication, dissemination, usage. Copyright compliances is necessary for telecommunication companies during their development, distribution, and utilization of the copyright protected system. Specifically, the compliance implies applicable licensing and distribution issues, digital rights management, online piracy, and many more. Then now we are going to discuss about the future trends and challenges in this particular telecommunication and network. So first is the emerging technology. That is there are the different emerging technologies like 5G and IoT. So what is 5G? 5G network. So that also we have discussed yesterday, which has the highest speed, faster data speed, lower latency, increased capacity than the previous generation. That is a 4G LTE. The key features of this particular 5G networks includes the enhanced mobile broadband, then massive machine type communication, then there is a ultra reliable low latency communication which supports the application, which includes the autonomous vehicles, augmented reality, and industrial automation. The deployment of 5G networks will transform the industries such as telecommunication, healthcare, transportation, manufacturing, and entertainment. The new services that require the high speed, low latency connectivity with 5G network include the remote surgery, smart cities, immersive gaming. The main challenge to 5G rollout are infrastructural investment, spectral allocation, regulatory barriers, interoperability, security. Yes. So here we can say that the telecommunication companies, government, and technology providers are overcoming all the challenges like spectral allocation, regulatory barriers, interoperability, security, privacy issues. Then the next is here Internet of Things, that is IoT. So IoT also we have discussed. That is it is a network of connected devices. There are the sensors, the objects which are equipped with these sensors, which will transmit and receive and as well as process the data over the network. So when we are developing the IoT technology, which will allows the physical things to connect with the digital things, so which will again it will make the automation, then monitoring and optimization in various areas are possible because of this particular IoT. In particular, uh, you can say that the most common IoT applications are used in a smart home, smart cities, healthcare, agricultural sector, transportation, industrial automation. IoT devices collect data on the movement and use of the real world, which allows companies in which they are implemented to optimize the production processes, to save the resources, to increase the quality of services provided to the customers, to develop the new sources of income. There are many challenges. There are many challenges which are associated. Many challenges which are associated with this particular implementation of the IoT, like interoperability, security, confidentiality, scalability, data management, compliance with the law. So many of them can be addressed using the robust cybersecurity, the standardization, data management. So it is important for all stakeholders to work together to achieve the goal or to achieve the objectives. Then the AIML, how the impact of AIML is there. So we know that AI means what? It mimics the human behavior. So we can say it is a simulation of the human intelligence processes in the machine. So intelligent machines are programmed to imitate the human cognitive functions such as learning, reasoning, problem solving, decision making. So, AI technologies include the machine learning, natural language processing, computer vision, robotics. There are lots of the capabilities with this particular AI which drives the performance optimization, automation of the task, identification of the threats, and prevention and improvement of the user's experience. AI applications in the telecommunication and networking include the network optimization, preventive maintenance, anomaly detection, virtual assistant, autonomous network operation. There are the lots of the challenges in AI adoption in the telecommunication and networking industry, like data quality and availability, algorithm transparency, accountability. Then there is a ethical issues, there is a regulatory compliances, there is a workflow skilling. So investment in AI research and development, partnership between academia and industry, ethical AI principles, they can overcoming the challenges. And the next is machine learning. Machine learning is a subset of artificial intelligence which learn or train from the previous data and predicts for the future. And we can say that it develops the algorithms and models which will allows the computers to learn from the data and make predictions or decisions without programming the model logic. So most common ML algorithms are supervised learning algorithms and unsupervised learning algorithms, as well as reinforcement learning. Then there are some deep learning mechanisms are also there in the AI. The ML algorithms, that is, the machine learning algorithms, are fundamental in network analytics, cybersecurity, predictive maintenance, optimization for the field of this particular telecommunication and networking. These particular machine learning models will leverage on the large network data sets to identify the patterns, to detect the anomalies, for providing the insights to enhance the network performance, reliability, and security. So we can say that the applications of machine learning in the telecommunication sectors has the data privacy and security, model interoperability, scalability, and algorithm bias challenges. These challenges need to be addressed through the data anonymization, then robust security measures, explainable AI methodologies, and constant monitoring of the ML models. Then there is a cybersecurity threats and risk mitigation strategies. So, cybersecurity threats to telecommunication and networking infrastructure. So, these mainly includes the data breaches, network infiltration, then there is a malware, then there is a ransomware, phishing, denial of service or attack. Threat actors will target the telecommunication companies, network operators, service providers. They will target to end users also for to steal the sensitive information, to disrupt the services, to or cause the financial and reputation damage. So emerging the cybersecurity threats in telecommunication and networking will include the advanced persistent threats, that's APTs, as well as zero day exploits, insider threats, supply chain attacks, attacks which will target the critical infrastructure such as 5G network. Then there is different Internet of Things devices. Cyber criminals will exploit the vulnerabilities in network infrastructure, software applications, and human factors to launch the sophisticated attacks and to evade the detection. Then there is a risk mitigation strategy. So in the risk mitigation strategy, this particular risk mitigation strategy aims to reduce the likelihood and impact of the cybersecurity threats on telecommunication and networking infrastructure. So this particular key risk mitigation strategies include the uh, robust cybersecurity measures like network segmentation, access control, encryption, IDS, that is intrusion detection system. Then there is intrusion prevention systems, also the detection and prevention, security information and event management solution. So conducting the regular security assessment, vulnerability scans, penetration testing, security audits to identify and remediate the security weaknesses and the compliance gaps. Educating the employees, customer, and partners about cybersecurity best practices such as strong password managers, phishing awareness, software updates, and social engineering preventions, as well as collaborating with the industrial peers, government agencies, and cybersecurity organization to share the threat intelligence for the best practices and incident response resources. So adhering to this particular regulatory compliance requirement, industry standard, as well as adherence to the cybersecurity frameworks like NIST cybersecurity framework, ISO 27001, PCI, DSS to establish a comprehensive cybersecurity posture. So this is all about the future trends and challenges in the field of telecommunication and network. Now we are going to discuss about the some case studies and some practical applications. The first case study is about the company's X migrate. There is a company X. We need to migrate that company to VoIP telephone system. So we can say that previously in the situations like that, it is a medium-sized enterprise. The company name is X, which is used the traditional landline telephonic system for external and internal communication. Previously, also in our home, also it is the same condition. So the company's telephony system was inefficient and overly expensive because of the obsolete infrastructure system. So that are the causes of the situation. Then implementation, the company implemented the voice over internet protocol telephony system, which allowed it to save on the cost of business communication and make them more convenient and improve the general user experience. So what will be the result if we are implementing the same? If we are implementing the voice over internet protocol telephony system, then it will allow companies to save the significant amount of money on business calls. Additionally, the call quality will be good, the conferencing, the abilities, different abilities, collaboration, the corporate video conferencing. So that development will be improved. So employees were allowed to receive and make business calls wherever there was the internet access, which highly increased productivity and made the whole process more efficient. Then the next another case study is that there is a retail chains deployment of the IoT sensors for inventory management. So what is the current scenario? Current scenario is that there is a retail chain stores who is struggling with the accurate inventory supplies, excessive stock outs, man-made errors, human errors. The inventory management system was manual and it did not offer the real-time stock visibility. So what we need to implement? We will implement the retail chain where we can install the IoT sensors and RFID on the products and on the shelves also to capture the levels of inventory. The sensors would take the data on the inventory levels about the stock movements and the location of the stock. The information would then be transmitted to the central database for monitoring and evaluation. So as a result, we can say that it helps to the retail store to achieve an accurate inventory, eliminate the frequent stockouts, and optimize the out of stock situations. So advanced inventory visibility improved the demand forecasting, shelf replenishment, enhanced order processing. Eventually, the sales will be increased, which improved the customer satisfaction. So, what we have seen in this particular unit in module number 4, the telecommunication and networks are the crucial aspects in the businesses in the modern world, which enables the communication, collaboration, and connectivity across the network of the globes. And in the one can communicate, one can collaborate across the globe within a fraction of the second. With the development of this particular telecommunication and network field, which includes 5G, IoT, and other enterprises, obtain the capability of the real-time data exchange, remote collaboration, and process automation. So, nevertheless, we can say that this also brings the challenges like compliance with the GDPR, HIPAA, coping with the threats of cybersecurity, managing the integration of the new technology with the existing one. To implement the technology successfully, a businesses th- need to do the thorough planning, security measures, and continuous process readiness to utilize the potential of the telecommunication and networks in reaching the innovation and efficiency and competitiveness in the digital age. So here, just a minute. So here we can say that we have completed our unit number unit number 4, module number 4, which is about the information technology in businesses, where we have studied about the telecommunication and network rules in the particular. So I will show you the SLM. Just a minute. So this is the SLM, where the entire information is given. So in this particular SLM, we have given some key terminologies as well as the short questions, long questions. So you need to go through the same, as well as there are some MCQ type questions are also there. So that will be useful for your what we can say that the internal assessment or as well as the ESC. So please go through the these particular. Just a minute, we'll check. Yeah. So this is the question answer part. So some MCQs are there, some fill in the blanks there, short questions, long questions. Go through the same, so you will get the idea how the questions will come in the exam. These are some references from where I have referred the same and I have written the SLM. So those, if you need to go deeper into the computer networks, and then these are very useful books which you can refer. Okay, so this is all about the today's session. If you have any questions, any queries, you can ask in the last few minutes. I am stopping the recording.